everybody, welcome back to another episode of In the Chair. Now you know me, I'm Imogene, and you can see there's the wonderful Keri, the superbly awesome Sassie Lewis,
Sorry, I was eating the hair.
and the fantastic Suzi Love.
Woohoo!
Hi ladies, anything new happening in your world at the moment? Any news? Suzi, I know your news. You have a baby in your house.
I do. I've got a 2.5-week-old new granddaughter.
Yay!
A pink girl. Yay! We have to put a picture in the links.
Okay, we'll find a picture and we'll definitely put it in the links.
Yeah.
Anyone else
Very
got news? No more news?
I haven't killed anyone, so...
And no more jury duty.
No, thank Christ. I will never get put on jury duty again. I have all intentions of writing on the form, I make other jurors cry. I don't give me it well. Just don't put me on here.
Okay, so today we're going to be talking about this thing called genre butchering, and I'm actually going to pass the baton to Sassie Lewis, who's going to explain it and begin our discussion.
Okay, so genre butchering and what is it? There's two types of genre butchering. One is simply ignorance, where the author doesn't know what genre they're writing. So when they upload their book to whatever platform it is, they've got a romantic suspense under chick lit. And it's not chick lit. It's a romantic suspense book. And that's simply because they haven't done the research, they don't know what genre they're actually writing, and they're not using an editor. A good editor will turn around and tell you that you've sent them a romance manuscript and it's not romance. And vice versa. Whatever the genre is, your editor should know what genre they are editing because they do this on a daily basis. Then you have what happens, and this happens more regularly and it does piss me off really badly, is those authors who know exactly what genre they're writing in, but they'll put it in a better ranking genre, so romance contemporary. If you can crack the romance contemporary, you are selling monster amounts of books. So they've got a book that's not really romance, but they want to crack that ranking, and therefore they will categorise that book as being in romance, contemporary, romance, suspense, romance, military, romance, erotica. They're all really good. I'm referring to romance because that's obviously what I would write. But it happens in all genres. And the reason that's happening is to push up ranks, the author ranks, and to hit your lists and to get the sales. Which is fine. We all want sales. Sorry. But what it's doing, it's cutting off the authors that are actually writing in that genre. And the readers that read that genre, they're being ripped off. So you'll read through the reviews on Amazon and stuff like that, and you will see quite a lot of, this book isn't such and such. Or especially the ones that have spoilers, and the reason they've got some of them that have, not all of them, because as an author, I hate spoilers. Please don't put them in your reviews, but I do read them. So if it's got a spoiler, often or not, it's telling you that this book is saying it's such and such when it doesn't. I did read one on an erotic romance, and the spoiler was that there's cheating in there, in the book. Now, as also an editor, I will tell you that it's not that you can't write cheating, but the moment you have, your book is not erotic romance because it doesn't fit in with the tropes of what is required in that genre.
And I think... yeah, I think...
Sorry, I was going to hand over.
No, that's all right. I think the other thing that goes with that too, though, is the readers... They then get to know the authors that do that, and they go, oh, they take themselves as, say, a paranormal, but it's not really, and so we're not going to read them anymore. Or they tag them and they go, you know what, this is not that. If you're wanting to read this, don't read them, because that's not what it is. And that's the last thing that any author wants. You don't want to be alienating your readership before you even start with your next book. So, and the other thing I see is I see publishers who do that, and they, yes, Keri, I know, they tag a book as paranormal romance when it's maybe an urban fantasy. Keri, could you expound on that one?
Yeah, my Riley Jensen series was marketed by Bantam as romance, and it's dark urban fantasy. And they did it strictly because the romance genre was so big and so huge, and they wanted to capture that market. And they did. By the third book, I was on the New York Times list because they hit the right market at the right time. But I was cat-copping the slack of the backlash from readers because it's not romance. It doesn't follow the tropes of romance. There's romance in it, but it's dark urban fantasy.
Yeah.
So I was the one that was getting the backlash for that, and it kind of annoyed me because, there was nothing I could do about it. It was a publisher decision, and it was a great decision because my books wouldn't have hit the New York Times without that, but at the same time, there was a backlash. So, yeah.
Suzi, what do you reckon?
Yeah, well, I've seen it in fiction and non-fiction, and as a reader in non-fiction, it can be really annoying because you're looking up the category for what I write is early 1800s, so in my non-fiction, that's what I look for in a reader. And you'll find histories of American presidents and all sorts of stuff that has got nothing to do with early 1800s British history at all.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're literally putting books in anyway.
And you'd find that too in your subgenres when you're looking at, say, Victorian versus Regency versus, whatever else. You know, and I mean, like, I'm particularly taken at the moment with the Victorian era, and it's an area that there aren't many writing in, specifically set in different locations. But, if I go looking for a book that is a Victorian theme and I end up, I choose one because it says it's Victorian, and then I sit down to read it and I learn that it's, say, Edwardian, well, that's not going to make me very happy as a reader. I'm not going to try reading another book by that author because you've already lost me. So,
it's very true, especially in historical fiction, because the eras change dramatically in the fashions and the customs and whatever. So if it's labelled in the wrong place, it stands out like a sore toe.
Yeah. Sass?
Yeah.
You got any last?
Something? Yeah. That's it. It's just very frustrating as an author, but more so as a reader, because readers do become they know what they want. So when I buy a book, I know what I'm looking at. So, and because I understand rankings and all the genres and all that, I don't just read the blurb. I will scroll down and I will look at what categories that book is in.
Yeah.
And if it's hitting all the categories I want. So at this particular time, I want a military suspense romance.
Yeah.
I don't want to buy a book that's got no romance in it. I want the romance there. Yeah, I don't want to read a military suspense because then I will actually go for something a lot different. It's frustrating. Pisses me off, people. Learn your genres.
It is frustrating.
Just feel sorry for the authors who have no say in it.
Yes.
We've had this discussion, though, because I've read those books, and I think urban fantasy and fantasy books in general have a different criteria. There are things like the Anita Blake series. Now, you could say that they're not actually romance books, although there's romance through them, but
they're only themes. They're not the central. Yeah, they're only themes. They're not the central reason for that book.
Yeah.
No, but I know I'm going to get a few steamy scenes, and I know I'm going to get the love angle and stuff like that, and it's the same for your books, Keri. So I can see why your publisher did that in that.
Oh, yeah, I could too.
I do think fantasy and sci-fi have some different rules than your very mainstream categories. So, yeah, but when you're talking your mainstreams like straight out romance, straight out erotica, straight out horror, suspense and all that stuff, that's when it starts to get a bit annoying.
How much of this, too, has to be taken on board by, say, the bookstores? I go into a bookstore and I'm looking specifically for a science fiction romance, and I end up standing in the fantasy section because, you know, it's the only place they put it. And then there's no romance there anyway, which is really disappointing. But how much of that then needs to be taken on board too by the booksellers?
Oh, yeah, they do. They need to learn the categories.
Yeah. And I keep running across this because I write historical romance, which is fairly hot. And in a bookstore, anything that's fairly hot is down on the bottom shelf labelled as erotica. And it isn't erotica, and all the people who write the same sort of heat level as me in historical say that. No, we don't write erotica. We're writing historical romance that's got heat. That doesn't make it erotica.
That's the one major one that pisses me off. Authors not knowing the difference between erotic romance and erotica.
Yep.
My book is led by a plotline with fucking in it. It's erotic romance. My book is led by fucking. It's erotica.
And if you want to see it, we're going to put a proper description of the difference between erotic romance and erotica down below. Feel free to have a read.
I've done a lot of Facebook parties with other historical romance authors who write, you know, mild to hot, and we've all had to explain to people because some of the readers will say to us, oh, no thanks, I don't want to win your book because you write erotica. And we say, no, sorry, we all write historical romance, and there is mild to slightly hotter. But none of us write erotica. It's not the same thing at all.
Yes.
We have romance.
The one thing I suggest to all newbie authors is to get onto all the publishers' websites and have a look at their guidelines. They will give you a description of what they class as what genre and what subcategory and all that stuff. So, and they're all the same. They will tell you all the same things, that this is erotic romance and this is erotica. So if you don't know it and you're a newbie author, freaking do some research, people.
That's our lovely Saz. Okay, well, thank you very much, ladies, for your time. We will be back again next week with another gripping topic. And so it's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from... And we'll see you next time from In the Chair. Over and out.